Michelin is a brand that's had 130 years of history behind it, and most of that time has been spent in the tyre industry. Now, for those of you who clicked on this and thought, Michelin, aha, 5-star restaurant reviews, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. My name is Sean Wilmot, and I get really fizzed up about round black things that are made out of rubber. Now, the Michelin Pilot Sport 4 SUV tyre is actually quite a complicated tyre to look around at. As New Zealanders, we have an interesting mindset when it comes to buying tyres for our vehicles. We're only really interested in two things. One, longevity, i.e. how long is my tyre going to last and how many thousands of Ks am I going to get out of it? And two, how much is it going to cost, and oh my gosh, I didn't really want to pay that much money anyway. And that's why this particular tyre is so good. It's what Michelin calls a total performance tyre, and that means it's encompassing a whole raft of different concepts. So what makes up a total performance tyre? Well, basically, instead of just taking those two aspects that I mentioned before, longevity and economy, you also have to look at all sorts of other things. Grip, all-weather braking, dry, wet, whatever. Silence, the quality of the ride, the driving pleasure, the safety of the tyre overall and how much that's going to actually impact on the safety of your vehicle, and a whole raft of other considerations that really need to be discussed with your tyre retailer at the time of purchase. Now, I don't need to sell you the tyre. I'm going to let the tyre sell itself for you instead. That's a far better way of doing it. So what does Michelin really know about tyres? Well, perhaps the more accurate question is, what doesn't Michelin know about tyres? After all, this is a tyre company, a producer of tyres that has been in the game for over 130 odd years, and in that time have formed partnerships with performance names like Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, Lamborghini, Ferrari, blah, blah, the list can go on and on. It is comforting to know that you can take this car from Auckland City, where the weather is usually fair, down through the desert road where it can often be icy, and your tyres, the Pilot Sport 4s, are going to be absolutely perfect regardless of the condition. Now, without getting too scientific or technological, I just want to tell you a little bit about the makeup of these Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. What we're talking about here is something that's quite dramatic in the tyre industry. Michelin has used two compounds, aramid, which is Kevlar, and nylon, to actually effectively alter the dynamics of the tyre when it goes around a corner. Now, as a tyre goes around a corner, you have what we call a contact patch, which is basically the connection footprint, if you like, between the tyre and the road surface. What Michelin have done with the aramid and nylon compound is create a way whereby the contact patch remains the same in area, even if it does change its shape just fractionally. And basically what that means is you can go from a straight piece of road with a nice big fat contact patch of maybe a hand's breadth, which is pretty normal, and then you go into a corner, and as the car corners and body rolls, the contact patch changes shape so that it gives you the same area, but it's just a different shape. It's another milestone landmark for Michelin tyre production. What silica does is it's actually acting as a water repellent. So within the Michelin Sport range, you basically have tyres that can disperse water quite effectively with the content, which acts as a sort of Rain-X, which you apply to the windscreens to disperse water as well. This is actually applied to the sides of the tyre, so the tread pattern is enhanced. Michelin has this new slogan, which you're likely to see in their advertising later on, and it's quite simply this: safe when new, safe when worn. The Total Performance tyre range is designed basically to maintain its safety integrity credentials right throughout the life of the tyre, however long that may be. Michelin is not afraid of putting its money where its mouth is in terms of actually doing testing as per standards for dry braking, wet braking, handling, and even longevity of lifespan, or the number of kilometres that you're going to travel with those particular tyres. So you will find that a Michelin tyre will stop considerably shorter than the nearest competitor by up to 2.5 metres in some cases, 3.5 metres in others, depending on what test they're doing. And these are also independent tests. That means they've been done by people like me, motoring journalists, they've been done by approved testing facilities, they've been done by car manufacturers, and all the numbers stack up, and they're all available on paper, and that's something you won't get from any other competitor. So that was the flagship tyre from the Michelin Total Performance tyre range, the Pilot Sport 4 SUV tyre. It's ticked off every box that we've asked for it, and Michelin have done exactly the same thing. They've ticked off every single box that you could possibly want as a consumer for their particular tyre. Yes, money is a consideration, so is longevity, but then there are all these other things that you have to take into consideration. But Michelin's done all the thinking for you. All you've got to do is look to that Total Performance tyre sign, and you've got it made.